Blackwood Penitentiary loomed. Its walls were stone teeth against the sky. Gray, imposing, unforgiving. This was a place where hope came to die. A final stop for forgotten souls. No one had ever breached its defenses. Not in 50 years. Legend said it was built on cursed ground. A place designed to break men, piece by piece, day by agonizing day. The wind itself seemed to whisper warnings around its turrets. Inside, the air was thick with despair. Cold steel met colder concrete everywhere. Every sound echoed. A slammed door, a guard's sharp command, the shuffle of feet. Men moved like ghosts. Their eyes were hollow. Their spirits, long since crushed under the weight of endless days. Blackwood wasn't just a prison. It was a tomb for the living. A monument to society's failures and fears, holding them tight. The security was absolute, or so they claimed. Cameras blinked their red eyes from every corner. Lasers, unseen, crisscrossed the barren yards. Pressure plates lay hidden beneath the cracked asphalt. Guards with faces like stone patrolled in predictable yet unyielding patterns. They were cogs in a machine designed for one purpose: containment. Escape was a fool's dream, a whisper of madness in the oppressive silence. Yet within this fortress of futility, there was Karabandi. His name, given by others, meant prisoner. But in his eyes, a different fire burned. He watched the unblinking cameras. He noted the guards' tired steps. He felt the subtle shifts in the prison's rhythm. He remembered the sun. He remembered freedom. And he made a silent, unbreakable vow. Blackwood would not be his grave. He would breathe free air again. Before Blackwood, Karabandi was a legend of a different kind. A whisper in the opulent halls of the wealthy. A phantom in the world of high-stakes thievery. He was an artist of acquisition. His intellect, a razor-sharp tool. He saw security systems not as barriers, but as puzzles. Complex challenges waiting to be elegantly dismantled. He never used violence. His calling card was audacity and an almost supernatural ability to vanish. His downfall was a masterpiece of its own. The Siren's Eye, a necklace of impossible value, guarded by layers of technology and human vigilance. He meticulously planned its acquisition for over a year. He slipped through every defense. The jewel was in his hand. He was moments from disappearing, but a single unforeseen variable, a trusted associate bought by fear or greed, betrayal. It always came down to human weakness. The trial was a media circus, a spectacle. Karabandi remained impassive, silent. The evidence, though circumstantial in parts, was damning enough. The public craved a villain. The judge delivered. Life imprisonment, no chance of parole. The gavel fell like a death knell. Blackwood Penitentiary was to be his final, desolate stage. The world outside would forget his name, or so the authorities fervently hoped. But inside the suffocating confines of his cell, Karabandi was not defeated. He was forged anew. The injustice of his capture, the sting of betrayal, it didn't break him. It distilled his resolve into something diamond hard. Rage, yes, but a cold, calculating rage. He learned patience. He observed. He knew the system was flawed, because men had built it. And men, he knew, were always flawed. The desire for freedom became his religion. Years melted into a monotonous blur, but Karabandi's mind remained sharp. He observed everything. The precise timing of the guard patrols, the subtle blind spots in the camera coverage, the loose grate in the laundry room, the way the wind carried sounds during a storm. He cataloged the prison's weaknesses, each one a tiny thread. He began to weave them. In the darkness of his mind, a plan took shape. Audacious, intricate, almost suicidal. The first piece fell into place unexpectedly. A new inmate, young, indebted, and terrified. Karabandi offered protection, counsel, in return, small favors. A whispered piece of information, a smuggled matchstick, a sliver of metal from the workshop. Slowly, painstakingly, he gathered his meager tools. Each acquisition was a victory, a small defiance against the crushing weight of the institution. He learned the art of silence, the power of a shared glance. His plan was a tapestry of desperate chances. It relied on split-second timing, on the predictable drone of routine, on the guard's boredom and complacency. He would move through ventilation shafts barely wide enough for a child, traverse rooftops under the cold gaze of searchlights, bypass motion sensors with homemade countermeasures. One mistake, one unexpected noise, one alert guard, and it would all end, likely in a hail of bullets. The chosen night arrived with a brewing storm. The wind began to howl, rain threatened. It was perfect. Nature itself offered a cloak. Karabandi sat on his cot. Still, his heart hammered against his ribs, a wild drumbeat. Every nerve ending thrummed with a mixture of fear and exhilaration. Tonight, after all these years, he would gamble everything, for that one intoxicating breath of freedom, or die trying. There was no other way. The signal came, a power flicker, engineered, subtle. Karabandi moved, a shadow detaching from deeper shadows. The lock on his cell door, painstakingly compromised over months, yielded with a faint click. He slipped into the darkened corridor, silent as a prayer, past the sleeping forms of other inmates. Each footfall measured, precise. The air tasted different already, thinner, sharper. Hope, a dangerous, beautiful thing, bloomed in his chest. He navigated the labyrinthine passages, his mental map flawless. A sudden cough from a nearby guard post. Karabandi froze, melted against a cold, damp wall, held his breath until his lungs burned. A flashlight beam sliced the darkness, inches from his face. He could smell the guard's stale coffee. The light moved on, the guard grumbled, resumed his rounds. Karabandi exhaled slowly. The razor's edge. He was living on it, the final obstacle, the outer wall. 30 feet of rain-slicked concrete, topped with razor wire. The storm raged now. Wind tore at him, rain blinded him. He threw his makeshift grappling hook, fashioned from a bed spring and stolen rope. It caught. He tested it, then began to climb, hand over hand. Muscles screamed in protest. The rough stone tore at his skin. Higher, higher. The wind threatened to rip him away. Then he was over. He landed stumbling on the muddy ground outside, free, for a heartbeat. Then, the sirens erupted. A cacophony of rage. Searchlights sprang to life, crisscrossing the night. Shouts echoed. Dogs barked, their fury unleashed. Karabandi didn't look back. He plunged into the storm-tossed woods beyond the prison. A fleeting shape swallowed by the darkness. Gone. But was he truly free? Or had he merely traded one cage for another? The hunt had just begun.